Let's welcome back for the second time on Wrestling Then
has
and Now.
has it been that many?
It feels like it's been 100 to you, I'm sure,
It
right?
does. Well, no, it's. I'm just listen, bro. You know I'll do anything for you.
Awesome.
You know
My
I'll do
man,
anything for you,
my man Maven, the king of YouTube. How are you, my friend?
dude. I'm well. I am good. I'm not giving myself that moniker. That's all you. Thank you though.
Well, I tell you,
Thank
I,
you.
I love watching your videos, man. I told you this
Oh, thank you.
when we chat that you were born to be in front of some kind of camera. So it's it's awesome, man.
Well,
Usually it's security footage camera, but we'll
there
talk
you
about
go.
that on different.
Yeah, usually it's in a defamation.
Yes, yes, yes.
No, but thank
Awesome.
you so much. I appreciate that. I it's listen, it blows my mind. It blows my mind every day. I can't believe it. Like I thought it might just because of the guy I was working with. I thought, okay, he knows his shit. It might do decent, but yeah, to do what it's doing is just yeah crazy.
I've been on 1,000 shows. I've done dozens and dozens of TV tapings. I've never worked a pay-per-view. So to me, hearing like the behind the scenes and like the nuts and bolts of the actual event and the day of, I find fascinating. So I think other people would as well. So take like WrestleMania 18, for instance.
Yeah,
Nowadays, WrestleMania is a week-long event. Like, what was it
yeah.
like back then to work a WrestleMania an actual match?
Well, it was still a week long event in the aspect of they sent us there directly after Raw or when I did WrestleMania 18, we did Raw and then we filmed SmackDown on Tuesday, and then that next Wednesday, we flew directly to Toronto, and we were there. I mean, I was there doing media, doing I think I even had a match leading up to that with Al Snow. Which think about how crazy that is. Like, what if I would have broken something? And then an advertise. I mean, it's there's a hundred other guys back there that could have filled in and during the WrestleMania, but that's an advertised match. But it was a week long event. It's the only difference is now it's a week long event and it's a 2 night event.
Right.
Where we were just the one night, and you can just tell because this past WrestleMania was the first WrestleMania that I watched um in a while, and you could tell how it's just different. Like the lead up to the matches, I mean, they were doing 20-minute lead ups and then the matches, which okay. I mean, they're going to do what works. I mean, there's data somewhere that says that that's what people want. So who am I to say? Which but when I was there, yeah, it was the only difference was it was more like a Raw on steroids. It was like we would still do backstage vignettes. We would maybe do a couple more of those, and then they would have like the sizzle reels before the big matches,
Right.
and you might have one of those for it. But like now I mean they're doing Hollywood productions for every match. I remember one of them. I remember the Dominic Mysterio match ended, and or the match right before Dominic Mysterio's ended, and they did 20 minutes of just sizzle reel on what led up to this match, and then the entrances. Man, if I would have had an 8-minute entrance, Vince would have kicked my ass. Like he would. Like I can't even imagine what we literally when we were there, we literally timed how long it would take us to get because the walkway in the Toronto Skydome was so long. We had to go out there earlier that day in time just to make sure they were giving us the accurate time. And so but then again, I forget all the time that this was 20 21 years ago. That just is crazy to me.
Who actually went up to you and said, Maven, you're on WrestleMania?
Shoot, I forget who it was that told me, but I think it was the writers actually. I think it was Brian Gerwitz who came up and said, "We're gonna have you go into Mania with the belt." And I was like, "Wow, man, that's crazy. They're not gonna have a hardcore championship on WrestleMania." And I think I said something to that effect, and he's like, "No, you're gonna be on WrestleMania because I like as much as." I couldn't believe what happened in the Rumble. Being in WrestleMania was even just a bigger shock to my system. Like, how the hell could I think I was going to be in WrestleMania? I'd only been there. I mean, this was only a few months after the Rumble spot. I had to make sure I had boots and stuff by then.
You're gonna work with Dustin right
Yeah,
then and there.
yeah, and it was me. Well, it was me and Dustin, and then they told us about how they had the idea for the belt changing hands, and then me doing the spot with Christian at the end of the night.
When did you film all of that stuff?
We actually we filmed well once I had my match and that my part was over. So then they just went and started doing the pre-tapes and filming and filming and filming. And they were like, just don't go anywhere because they wanted to do it in order. And then they once because I know they Molly Holly had a stint with it. I forget if Crash did,
Hurricane.
but yeah, I think yeah, Hurricane, and then it was mine and Christian's turn. But we had to wait until it was during the show that we filmed that because we had to wait till it was obviously dark, you know. So yeah, but we got it in one take. I mean, it wasn't something that took more than one take. It was, I mean, it was the easiest spot ever. Just go up, roll up, and jump it, roll them up, and jump in the cab, and yell out the window. Yeah.
You immediately find Dustin and say, "Hey, we're working at WrestleMania." Like, what do you like? What's your next step after you hear you're on the biggest
Yeah,
show?
yeah, and to him it was just another match to him. Like that's just like he's just so good. And that's what I think like I was fortunate in the aspect of the guys I got to work with early in my career. To them it was nothing. So they were they put me at ease. Taker wasn't worried about the Rumble because it's just another wrestling match to Taker.
Right.
And for Dustin, it was just another 6 minute match. He knew how to do it. He'd done a million of them. So it wasn't like a big deal to him. And, so he calmed my nerves very early leading up to it. And, yeah, we went over stuff for probably about an hour and, just going over what we were both comfortable with and getting, the trash can lid spot down. I'll tell you what, I don't know if you remember that match, but he hip tosses me into the barricade outside and my
Yeah.
legs flop over. Oh, my back, I'm still feeling that one. That one hurt. Yeah, like that hurt. But again, I wasn't feeling anything once, because it was mania. But I missed the trash can on the drop kick spot.
Dropkick. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely whipped the trash can, and Vince chewed my ass backstage for it.
Oh, really? What do you say?
You got what? He's like, you got one move. You got one move, and you missed it. And he wasn't wrong. And he wasn't wrong. But the rest of the match went off good. So yeah, it was. And now I'm in wrestling history for just being able to wrestle in a WrestleMania, which is cool.
You have to get there the day of.
Same, nothing changed. Yeah, that's why I said it was just a raw, just jacked up. The only difference was is the ring was set up so far in advance. I mean, they had that ring set up in the Sky Dome probably on Thursday because I remember we a bunch of us went over there um, early and like a couple days early just to walk the arena with no one in it. And it's massive. I mean, I don't know where on the baseball field the equivalents to the ring would be, but it's massive in there. And to think that to look into right field and see those skyboxes and then be like, there's gonna be people up there watching me down here. That's just mind boggling.